Hey everybody, I'm John Granato. You can hear me mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. That's Josh Jordan. He is the editor of SportsMapHouston.com, and he's on weekends on Moneyline on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Josh, this week some crazy revelations have surfaced from a new book by ESPN senior writer Seth Wickersham about the New England Patriots called "It's Better to Be Feared." One of the excerpts getting a lot of attention locally is about former Texans coach Bill O'Brien. According to the book, O'Brien told a colleague he was trying to get fired in 2017 so he could possibly succeed Bill Bellichick in New England. What does it say about the McNairs that Bill O'Brien was trying to get fired coming off a 4-win season, and instead he won a power struggle with Rick Smith, who is arguably the best GM in Texans history?
I think they were buying into the Patriots way type mantra, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. At the time, people didn't know that it was more Tom Brady than Belichick. And people were buying into that. And, you know, like you said, the team was coming off a 4-win season. And, you know, they went with Bill O'Brien there because he was the squeaky wheel. And if you think about Bill, if he wanted to get fired, it was a win-win situation for him, right? It's like, hey, if I push this power struggle with Rick Smith and I win, then I get what I want. And if I lose, then I get to go back to New England and be the guy that comes after Belichick. So it makes sense. And, you know, John McClain said the other day that Bill O'Brien told him years ago that if you want to win like Belichick, you have to have control over personnel. So that's something that Bill always wanted, even though he says that wasn't really the case.
Yeah, and by the way, this all happened before he was trying to get fired, before he made all those stupid trades, which you think, well, of course he was trying to go, look at the stupid trades he made. Well, this was actually before, and he thought he was going to succeed. And the logic just doesn't make sense. I'm going to get fired from the Texans so the Patriots will want me even more. I mean, I'm going to be as big an a-hole as I could possibly be, so that will make the Patriots want me. There's no question that Bill O'Brien was perfectly fit into the mold. But look at what's happened with the Patriots and all the assistant coaches. They have all been terrible. There has not been an assistant coach that not one. Bill Belichick's coaching tree is awful. And there's a reason for that. It's because it wasn't Bill Belichick. It was Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is proving that now year after year.
It's so true. And we've seen this with the Texans before, if you think about it. Remember when we had Kubiak and it was all about the Broncos South? And when Peyton Manning had interest that we heard in joining the Texans, and Kubiak's like, no, we're sticking with Schaub. We got our system. So we've seen this before where they value the system over the great quarterback. But now we have hindsight, right? We know that it was Tom Brady now. So it's just a little different now that we look back at it.
Well, and it makes it look, the McNairs now, it makes them look, I think, even worse that a guy's trying to get fired and they pick him over Rick Smith. Granted, they really liked Bill O'Brien, and I liked the hire of Bill O'Brien at the time, but they had to work with that guy in the building every day, and how unbelievably difficult he was, and yet the McNairs sided with him. And then what's even more amazing, after all is said and done, they hire Easterby, and then they hire Caserio. And they see that New England, the way that they go about it, it doesn't work other places, and yet they still went out and got those guys too.
And to your point, John, it's funny, we kind of blame Cal for letting Bill O'Brien become the GM and bring in Easterby and all the things that have had, all the bad trades. But Cal was just kind of following in Daddy's footsteps by siding with Bill O'Brien. He saw his dad do that, and he ended up doing the same thing, and here we are.
Well, the shocking thing is that he fired him after 4 games, but I think that was probably Easterby, whispering in his ear, and it's just a shame where this has gone. I do believe, though, that Caserio just might be the best thing that has come out of New England. But by all accounts so far, he is handling it professionally, and he's actually doing a pretty good job. We'll see how he does with these draft picks, whether or not he is a draft expert, which he claims, I'm no draft expert. Well, you better start to be, because you're going to have a lot of draft picks coming up soon there, Nick Caserio.
You have to wonder, because in that book, they talk about it was Brady, it was Robert Kraft, and some others that were talking about what would life be like after Belichick. I wonder if Caserio might have been one of those others. I think Caserio understood that Tom Brady was either wanting to leave because he didn't want to play with Belichick anymore, or he would be retiring soon. So I think Caserio was smart. Like, hey, the quarterback play is not going to be great here for much longer. Yeah. And the Texans got that Deshaun Watson guy over there.
Well, and if he's any good, the Texans have done a nice job because the Patriots can't come and steal him because he's got a long-term deal here, thanks to Jack Easterby. That might have been, while on the surface it looks like Jack Easterby, maybe a little bit of conflict of interest, but it may turn out to be pretty darn good that he's not going to be able to go to the Patriots and run that organization.
No doubt about it. I agree with you. Are we actually praising Easterby for something?
Well, that's so hard. That's so hard to do right now.